In the USA, our first opportunity to buy a miniature Hoover upright, besides some of the weird ones in the 1910s that Hoover experimented with, was the Model 115 in 1948. And these are still not all that difficult to find. This example does not have its original bag, but other than that, I can't complain too much. In the UK, though, they had them first. So this example has made its way over to the United States and into my collection, thanks to my friend Kieran. And this is a Model 375. This particular example is just post World War II. But they did have a 375 pre-war. They also had a 370. So the design started in the early 1930s. And this one I'm fortunate enough to even have the manual for, which is here. In the United States, they always said the Hoover makes rugs last longer, but the UK machines always said that the Hoover makes carpets last longer. I never liked vacuuming stairs this way. I always take the vacuum and go front ways on the stairs. That is assuming I have carpeted stairs, and that is also assuming I'm using an upright to clean them. But that's how Hoover told you to do it. Oh, this is interesting. So, and US manuals from the time reference this method also. Rather than vacuuming your hard floors, you would set the Hoover in one place, turn it on, and then use a broom to sweep your floors and let the Hoover suck up the dust. Basically using the Hoover like a vac pan. There's the famous Hoover agitator, which makes rugs or carpets last longer. Radiators and interiors of pianos and gramophones. Things that you don't have to clean anymore. I do love all these illustrations in these old manuals. And the dustet, in case you don't want to attach the tools to your Junior any longer. And here's the Perryvale factory where the UK Hoovers were made, starting in the 30s, I believe. And the Royal Warrant. And of course the logo which originated in the US with, I believe, the Model 700. Servant to the home. Now the Junior belt, more commonly seen as the convertible O-ring to keep the bag on, is too big. And the closest thing I've found, which I found on either a Facebook post or maybe it was on Vacuum Land, was this pack of O-rings. And as you can see from the package, it has typical Amazonian Chinese writing, though I'm sure this would be locally available in your favorite hardware store. I was trying to find the dimension to give you useful information, but I couldn't find it. And God forbid I, measure it or something. Well, this being from the UK, it is a 240 volt machine. And some of you may be surprised to learn that I don't have 240 outlets all over my house. So I have come up with a janky way of running this. Someone has fitted a modern UK plug to this, which, even though it's very functional and safe and durable, it's not very stylish. I'd love to have a black rubber 2-pin plug, as this would have once come with. And I just so happen to have a janky adapter that would allow a UK male plug to plug into this, as well as several others, and the male end is USA. And this would be intended for things that automatically regulate the voltage, like laptop chargers or something, cell phone chargers. And this would horrify Big Clive because it doesn't have the shutters or anything. It's not a very safe device, but that's in keeping with the rest of this setup. So now that we have this thing adapted to a USA outlet, we can either run it on half speed by plugging it into 120, or by using this cord, I can then plug it into 240. So this cord will also let you blow up selected 120 volt appliances that you don't want to have functional anymore. So going out to the garage, which is where I more often need 240 volts, we can plug this in here, turn the breaker on. Addy scram. The handle release on this thing is a little temperamental, so the handle is usually kind of loose unless you pull the lever up manually. But now, this one has a very, very nice intact grip and power cord. And in the grip you can still see the detailing, if I get it in the right light, that is most often worn away. So this thing probably had a fairly easy life in spite of the paint chips on it. I never really warmed up to the rear motor cover on these. I just don't find the shape very flowing with the front nozzle. One of the reasons I prefer the 370 with its oval belt cover and the metal motor housing in back. But this is a little bit more artfully designed. And of course, when we're talking about finding a UK Hoover in the United States, I'll take what I can get. Beggars can't be choosers. So there you are, the Hoover 375. Happy hoovering. Make your carpets last longer.